And cardamoms are really great because they help cut sugar cravings. So these are great for like when you travel or whatever, you can just pop one of these in your mouth. You literally can take some of these in a bag with you and you could pop one of these in your mouth and chew on it, suck on it. That will help any sugar cravings. Or you just put it into some of your food and it will help regulate the insulin in the way that you absorb the food. Cardamom pods are really good for colds and sinus, anything that's congestion or what we call kapha related type illnesses, any swelling and extra fluid. This is a really great herb. It cuts through any mucus. It's even said by David Frawley and Vasant Ladd that it's one for your emotional health and well-being. So it opens up your heart. All right, so we are at our cooking workshop. We're going to be making today a few of our family favorite recipes, ones that I learnt during our stay and where we lived, Uzbekistan, Central Asia. And so, as Igor is from Central Asia and Uzbekistan, this was one of the first things that he taught me to cook. And it's really like, I apparently excelled at it. And so I'm the one that only makes plov now at home. But typically and traditionally, it's a dish that's made for celebrations. It is a dish made by men. And the ancient recipe is from the sage and philosopher Avicenna. And he was the one that first brought this recipe to the West, well, or to Central Asia. And so we feel that it traveled through the Silk Route from India also, because it has very similar ingredients to like a pilaf rice. And so the ingredients that are in the plov is, it's cooked on ghee. This is how we've made it more Ayurvedically, Ayurvedic. It's made with carrots, chickpeas, and it's made with rice. So we're also going to make some ghee to start off with. Now, ghee is made with clarified butter, and it's talked about and used a lot in Ayurvedic food, as it's one of those fats that is a really high smoke point, which means that it's really good to cook on. And as most of spices like turmeric and cinnamon and cardamom and saffron are actually fat soluble, they go deeper into our tissues when they are cooked with fat. The properties of ghee, which is, as we said, butter that's been clarified, the sediment's been separated in the whey and the fat, that the ghee itself becomes then a carrier for these spices and their benefits, their health benefits. So when we cook our foods, it's usually over 200 to 400 Celsius to really get foods prepared well. And so we need an oil that's stable. It means that it's not going to give us oxidative stress in the cells. And so what happens is, for example, you have olive oil, which is another healthy oil, but its smoke point is at like 100 and around 50, 200 degrees. It starts to smoke. And that means that it's releasing, it will release free radicals in our cells, which increases aging and causes disease in the body.
Amrita, is the sediment on top healthy, or should it be thrown away?
Great question. So the sediment in the whey sediments in ghee will drop to the bottom, and then they'll become brown, and you want to catch the ghee so that that means that it's cooked. And then the stuff at the top, which is like a foamy thing, is supposed to be medicinal. It's supposed to be like extra medicinal. Ghee is medicinal in itself. Like there's been like stories of people keeping it for like 100 years, and the longer that you keep it, the more medicinal it is, like the more aged and the more benefits that it has. So the chief health benefit in ghee is that it has the butyic acid, which helps the stomach lining. It lines the stomach as a barrier against, any disease, anything that would potentially strip that barrier, that mucus lining that we have in the stomach that protects the stomach and all the villi in there, the bacteria and in the guts. And so it's a really healthy option. It's really cooling. So if anyone's pitta dosha, ghee is the best fat for you. Ghee is great for you. When you're vata dosha, again, great fat for you also to try. Okay, let me put it on. See how.
I just want to eat ghee all the time.
Oh.
Is it fattening?
Well, does it look like it's fattening? No, it's not. It's all about your metabolism. But they do say I've been cooking on ghee solidly for 20 years now. And, that's our main source of fats: olive oil, coconut oil. Fats are kind of demonized in the West, but it's not the fats that are making you fat. It's the other stuff, like it's the sugar, it's the processed foods, it's the quality of the fats and oils that you're using. Fat and cholesterol, even like cholesterol in is normal for your body, but it's the other stuff that's kind of blocking the channels that then causes this build-up of the sediment of cholesterol in certain arteries. And that's where, eating spices can help to clear the arteries as well and prevent that build-up and calcification of cholesterol. Who would like to get their hands a little bit messy? And we can start doing the carrots and the leek. All right, perfect. Yeah. A lot of people use onion and garlic, but typically in this Ayurvedic kitchen, we use leek as a replacement and ginger. And that's because these are more sattvic, whereas onions and garlic are more rajasic. And a lot of people are having a bad reaction to onions these days as well. And it can cause bloating and gas. And it's like, if you follow a food map, it's also like one of the things that you don't use in that cooking. Anyway, to prepare a leek, you want to take out the outer skin, cut off the roots, and then you want to cut through the middle of the leek. and wash again, because in these slices you get, pieces of grit and dirt and stuff like that. So that's how thin we want that, Olinda. Yeah? Okay, and then with the carrots, we're going to peel them and then we're going to cut them in a very particular way. So we're going to cut it in half, slice off the first bit, put it on its side, and then... This one's a bit of a wobbly carrot, actually. Not the most pranic.
Okay. Okay. And then the long ones, you cut them also? Mm-hmm. All right.
And we're just going to crush a few of the cinnamon, cardamom pods, some fenugreek. Smells fantastic. So cinnamon and fenugreek. Okay, and now we're going to put that into the ghee. It doesn't need to be finely ground, just a rough. Great. Yeah. So right here we've got fenugreek and cardamom pods. So the fenugreek is excellent for lactating mothers to produce more breast milk. It's also excellent for men so that they have extra stamina and strength and vigor in their exercise workout routines. And that's been scientifically proved now. And then both of these herbs are excellent for regulating blood sugar. So they're really, really like powerful combination. You could put things like turmeric powder, also an oil-soluble or fat-soluble spice to improve the potency of your ghee. Okay, so let's put it in. Typically, it's like turmeric, cardamom, fenugreek. Like most of the spices that we use are better with fats, cooked with fats, rather than, even if you make a salad dressing with those certain spices, make sure that you put oil in your salad dressing. But what we're doing when we cook the spices with the ghee, and this can be done at any point and stage in the cooking process. I usually like to wait till it's half done, till you just see that separation start to happen. And then you put the spices in. And so when you strain the ghee, it will have those qualities of the spice in them. And so each time you cook or use it, you'll smell the aromas of the spices, and you'll also be receiving the benefits in your cooking. It's infusing the spice with the oil. So you're getting all the properties of the spice straight away, like cooked into there. And it just smells really lovely. It tastes amazing. So if you're like someone that likes to just have a dollop of ghee on your oatmeal or something, you've already got those benefits cooked in to your ghee. Keep an eye on your ghee and make it more of a like meditative process where you come back to it, where you spend time, you stir it, but not the bottom. The bottom ways should be left undisturbed so that they can settle. Okay, that's looking really good. So we're going to wash the rice until all the white starches are out of the rice. So grab that bowl there and let's take it to the sink. This is one of those dishes that is more like celebratory. It's nice to share it with friends when they come over and as a treat. you can drain off some of the water. And the great thing about it as well, that it's really easy to digest. Great. So when we, wash out our lentils or our rice, we always use cold water. So the water temperature is important because cold water will take out the starch, but will leave some in there so that it sticks together in cooking. Whereas if we used hot water, warm water, that's going to take all of the starch out, a lot more starch out. And in lentils, that kind of almost like starts to cook the lentils. They start to change color and form. So we use cold water typically to keep a little bit of that starch that we need for the flavor and everything else in cooking. So after we've now finished washing the rice, we've drained out the water, we will start to cook down the leek and put that on the side. This is what happened with the ghee. The solids have separated. I'm just going to warm it up and cook it just a touch more. I could stop here. But that's probably going to be more of a wet ghee. It's not going to solidify as well as if I turn these sediments at the bottom more golden. Okay. And then we're going to put 2 tablespoons of this ghee into there. Actually, make it 4.
4 tablespoons and then the ghee.
And then the leek. Mm-hmm. We're going to put some spices in. Let's put some spices in. So we're going to use a cumin. Let's use some curry leaves. Yeah. We're going to use the saffron, but in a minute. And maybe you can do some grinding. Would you like to do some cinnamon powder? Put some of these in. Okay, so we've just put some cumin seeds in the bottom of the oil, and we're just going to stir them so that the ghee is coating the spices. And then we're going to start to make our first layer, which is going to be the leeks. And we're going to cook them down. Until they're translucent. Can add in some curry leaves. We're going to add in more cumin seed. Cumin really makes this savory flavor. Cumins are excellent at creating this kind of very nutty, Central Middle Eastern flavor with its food. This is the cardamom that we ground up. Again, just the smell really opens up that heart center, the sinuses. It's an excellent spice for just cutting any mucus. So whenever you're using rice or milk in your food, use cardamom as a way of like cutting through any of the stickiness and heaviness that those are bring. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you've got to like you think better. So we've just strained the ghee of any sediments through a filter. And now we're going to pour it into a clean jar where we can store it.
How long can we store it?
So what you want to do is, the ghee is still hot, so make sure that it's completely cooled down before you put any lid on, because that will create moisture in the jar. And we don't want any moisture in the jar because that will create bacteria and mold. So it's important that water doesn't interact with the storage. And then you can, this will solidify. This will solidify within the next couple of hours, depending on how cold it is outside in your environment. And that's when you then put the lid on top. This is going to look amazing. I can see now. It already smells just incredible. Really lovely.
What were the spices? They were cardamom.
Cardamom and fenugreek. So fenugreek is one of those herbs that is kind of more having this research, popularization of this herb, because it has many benefits for both men and women. So science is proving that men, when they take fenugreek, they are exercising longer, they have more strength in their body, and their strength has been increased by 60%, can you believe, by taking fenugreek. And there are multiple ways in which you can take it. Women that are breastfeeding and producing milk, they can increase their breast milk production by using fenugreek. It helps with blood sugar, to regulate blood sugar levels. And it's even said that it can increase, because it increases estrogen in the body, it can increase breast tissue. So some great reasons to enjoy this spice. And so you can use it in a tea. You can use 2 tablespoons in like 2 pints of water, warm boiling water, and make a tea from that and sip that throughout the day. That's one way to enjoy it. The seeds are very hard, like in their form. But once it's been in water, these start to swell and become softer. So after you've had it in your tea, you can even eat the seeds. They're soft enough and kind of enjoyable enough for you to be able to eat the seeds. So the other spice that we put into the ghee was cardamom. And so we got the cardamom pods and we put them into, we ground them and then put them into the ghee. And cardamoms are really great because they help cut sugar cravings. Who asked about sugar cravings yesterday? Yeah? So these are great for like when you travel or whatever, you can just pop one of these in your mouth. You literally can take some of these in a bag with you and you could pop one of these in your mouth and chew on it, suck on it. That will help any sugar cravings. Or you just put it into some of your food and it will help regulate the insulin in the way that you absorb the food. Cardamom pods are really good for colds and sinus, anything that's congestion or what we call kapha-related type illnesses, any swelling and extra fluid. This is a really great herb. It cuts through any mucus. It's even said by David Frawley and Vasant Ladd that it's one for your emotional health and well-being. So it opens up your heart and allows you to feel that love. And I mean, just the smell of it, just opens up the chest and just has that really uplifting feeling to it. So this can be used as well as putting it in your ghee. You can put this in milk. It really absorbs well it nourishes the tissues when you add it to milk. So cardamom lattes. Ooh. You can imagine, yeah, that on a nice, even a summer or winter day. These are great for all three doshas. So like they're cool down pitta dosha, but they're also like just enough warmth in there for them to be balancing for vata and kapha dosha. So good tridoshic herb. All right. So we're going to put we've just fried down the leeks. The leeks are now glossy and translucent. They're really well combined with the cardamom, the cardamom powder and the cumin seeds. And we're going to add in the carrots. Hold on, let's just switch to another pot because this one is more of a soup bowl. This we need more of a deeper bowl, no, can't even speak. A wider bowl for our saucepan.
And why is that?
Because this is typically what I would cook this in, a more flatter, wider dish. Even more deeper than this. So there's no lid on it at this stage. And like I say, this is a dish of layers. And so the leeks and the spices was the first layer. The carrots go in is the next layer. And then afterwards, we've got some chickpeas and then we've got the rice. So it's all going to come together nicely. The chickpeas I cooked this morning. They are nice and cooked. I cooked them for a couple of hours. Soft in the middle. I would have liked to have put some baking soda in them, but I just cooked them for 3 hours with water. You can put in like 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda when you soak them. And you can also put them in a pressure cooker, and the pressure cooker will help speed up things when you also cook them. We're going to add some water over the saffron strands to help them to open up and release. Yeah, the color of saffron is incredible, right? Yeah, so in this dish we could have used turmeric, but we're actually going to use saffron, one of the most expensive herbs and spices in the world. The benefits of saffron are that it's really good for for delaying aging. It really gives you that glowing skin, and that's because it clears out the liver. And the liver, when the liver's clear, it cleans out the blood. So it's also one of those libido-enhancing herbs, and you can use this in milks, in jams. You can use it in rice dishes. It really goes well with those. This can really take and absorb a lot of salt. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Enough, you think? That's how much I might.
Okay, that might be a first level.
Yeah.
We're going to add some more because we got these chickpeas next. And then we just add those in dry. We don't mix this in. We're going to layer it up. So it's just layer, and then we have a rice layer, and we don't have a big enough pot.
And that's uncooked rice?
This is uncooked rice going in. I'm a little bit scared because this is not going to be big enough. Shooting stars.
You do a little more. Push it down.
I'm just gonna, yeah.
Tamp it down. I think you can get it in.
No, because when rice is going to expand and then we'll be out of the pot. Yeah, I'll do another plov on the side. So the next stage of this plov dish is once we put the rice on, we put some water in and we wait until the water comes to the top of the top of where the rice is. And then we're going to allow that to just cook out. I'm going to put some of this saffron water also on the rice. See that lovely color? We turn up the rice to its maximum temperature, fire, and allow that to now boil. And once the water has evaporated out of it, we then put the lid on, turn the fire and the flame down low and allow that to steam. And that just steams the rice. So for another 10 minutes and then it's going to be ready, guys.
Nice.
So now we've got some very minimal ingredient vegan flatbread with some lovely flour that we've got with already some bicarb of soda in it. And we're going to get some vegan coconut yogurt, a pinch of salt, and then some olive oil and water before we start kneading it. So you're up for doing your part?
Let's do it.
Okay, great. So I'm really glad that I found some coconut yogurt. It's everywhere right now, isn't it? And this one's got probiotics in it, natural, sweetened with agave. We've got 4 cups of flour, and we need 2 of the cups of this yogurt.
Just one. Yeah.
I think we got it. It's okay. Thank you, though. Yeah. That's number 1. 2 cups exactly in this container.
Perfect.
Nice. Well, what's up, sir? Yeah, I think I might grab a
Yeah, a little spoon would be good. Some salt. Thank you. And then 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And then just keeping it nice and simple. Let's get our fingertips in to shape the flour.
No, but there's a filter over there that we're using.
Okay. Let's see. That's actually good.
Cool.
Yeah. It doesn't need any water.
Okay, awesome.
That's great. Great job. Okay, you can wash those. We're just going to leave this now in a bowl and then just cover it for 10 minutes, 20 minutes with a dry towel. So when we're kneading it, we're pressing the fibers together. We're creating like a ball of dough. So get those.
You put ghee in there or was it amazing?
I put olive oil in there. So we got a damp cloth and we put that over the bowl and then we'll leave it on the side. Okay, small detail. You know that the rice is ready to put the lid on top when the water is cooked down and you just have like the water's cooked down to the bottom of the pan. And that's when you're going to add No more fluids. You just put the lid on top. And allow that to steam. Okay, we're also going to turn the temperature down. So one of the things that we're going to cook on or have on the side of the plov is some raita, which is made with cucumbers and some mint, cilantro, and yogurt. So this is lovely, cooling, really tasty. Yeah, so raita is a food typically served with Indian cuisine. And so it's a side dish, like a condiment. And it's fresh. It's really quick to make. It takes literally, as long as it takes to assemble these items, and then it's ready to eat. And so cucumber is great in it, but you can also use carrot. You can also use cashew nuts, or you can just have it as plain yogurt with mint and cilantro, for example. But today we're putting in some grated cucumber. And so cucumber is one of those pitta pacifying foods. It's got lots of hydration in it, right? Lots of water. It holds water in it.
So much love going into this food.
Thank you. Yes. Always. Yeah. We can actually make a cucumber water from this. We don't want to lose the vitamin A and C that's in the skin. We can actually use that as a drink. Who would like it in their water? Yay! Let's pop some in your glass. Pop some water in there and drink it. So right here we've got some washed mint. We're taking the leaves off of the branches. We need about 2 tablespoons. Okay, so that's that. This is the cilantro, which I'm going to leave over here. Cut them into small pieces. I'm putting that with the cucumber. So it brings me back to a childhood memory. Mint and cucumber. We've already put some salt in, and then we're going to put the yogurt. So everybody's all right with dairy? Yeah.
I speak for everyone. How do you make flatbread?
Mix that together. Ooh. Yummy. Mm-hmm. So, here we've got our dough. I'm going to mix it with a little bit of flour. Make it into sausage. And then we're going to section it up. Let's have it close by, shall we? All right. Okay, we don't have a rolling pin, but it doesn't matter because these you can do with your hands. We're just going to form them with our hands. We're using our thumbs just to massage the dough out into a shape of an elephant ear. Okay. A little bit more flour, get it even. Okay, it's a cute little one. All right, and then we're putting on some Nigella seeds, massaging those in. And that Nigella seeds. Nigella is also known as black cumin. It's one of the most powerful spices that we use in Ayurvedic cooking. It's really good for inflammation, really good as antioxidants, super high in antioxidants. Very good for kapha dosha, blood sugar regulation. And it's just a really powerful, potent herb. So in Ayurveda, like we know that like the darker the seed, the more antioxidants it has in it. So great stuff. And then pop them over here in the pan. We'll start to cook. Okay. Without any oil. Yeah. Yeah. Great. Is there one more? Okay. Give them a couple of minutes on each side. Yeah. Thank you.
It smells amazing.
Mm-hmm. Oops. Sorry, that was
I
mine.
can't see anything.
Okay. Great. Look at that. So those crystallized bits on the bottom. Mm-hmm. Great.
So hungry.
Ta-da! So, we did manage to make it on time. Romano, you want to make some? Keanu?
That's the spirit.
Get into that. Yeah, let's flip them. Just don't know where the flipper is. The what? Yeah, yeah, sure. Okay, next let's set up the table, shall we? Okay, let's eat.
Wow.
Smells incredible, guys. You enjoy it.
Wow. I thought you were saying yes to mom.
You got one?
Shall I share with you the grace that we usually do before
Yes, yes.
we eat? Okay. This is from the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. Okay. In thy fullness, my Lord, filled with thy grace, for the purpose of union with thee, to satisfy and to glorify thy creation, we give thanks to thee with all our hearts and with all adoration for thy blessings. We accept thy gift as it has come to us. The food is thy blessing, and in thy service we accept with all gratitude. My Lord, Jai Gurudev. Thank you. It's such a joy to share this meal with you.
Learned so much.
And yeah, enjoy. I need a little bit more salt, sea salt. So salts have different qualities even in Ayurveda. And sea salt is the most drying. So it's good to use in winter time when there's typically more moisture around, and springtime, or so that you don't have any leftovers, and then cook fresh. And that way you've got more life force energy in the food, more prana. That was such a delightful lunchtime meal. Very sattvic, very grounding, very Moorish, but very simple to digest as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and do stick around to see more.